The story begins with our protagonist admiring the most popular girl in school, whom he is in love with. His name is Ryuto, and hers is Runa. Unlike the girl, he is just an ordinary introverted boy with very few friends. He thought the two could never be close until the scene cuts and we see the two together in a room, where she offers them to do that. Going back to the past, the protagonist was in the classroom until he heard some boys saying that they wanted to date Runa and that she changed her boyfriend every 2 months. As just one guy is not enough to satisfy her. Suddenly, while the protagonist was thinking about the number of friends he had, the girl appeared in front of him and asked him to borrow his mechanical pencil. Just like that, the protagonist was already in love. Sometime later, while eating with his friends, they talked about someone famous called Ken and said they wanted to play with him. Because they were in the exam period, they couldn't do it, and because they hadn't studied as much, they were afraid of doing poorly in the exams. Afraid that only the protagonist would do well, they decided to make an unusual bet. Whoever gets the best grades in the test will have to do something that those who did worse say. This way, after they had their results and saw that only the two of them did poorly while the protagonist did well, they decided what he should do. Declare himself to the girl he likes, because that way, they felt a little better when they saw someone being rejected. With the class over, the protagonist was waiting for the girl, as he had placed a note in her locker. Even though she thought she wouldn't come, Runa appeared and asked what the protagonist wanted to say to her. With great embarrassment, Ryuto managed to say that he liked her, and when asked why, he replied that she was beautiful. Despite being superficial, she liked it, and instead of rejecting him, she asked if he would like to date her. This left him without a reaction, and without a doubt, he said yes. So the two became lovers and went home together, while his two friends were on the floor in disbelief of what happened. As they walked home together, Ryuto could hardly believe that this was all true, and she didn't even know his name. Runa asked him if they had already talked, but afraid that she would think it was strange to consider lending her mechanical pencil as a conversation, the boy said no. Ryuto asked why she agreed to date him when she didn't know him well and remembered when he was dumped by a girl who put him in the friend zone. Runa said that he didn't know much about her either and that she already liked him a little, which is why she accepted the relationship. When telling her the requirements for her not to date someone, the protagonist was surprised to learn that there were so few. Furthermore, Runa also commented that it doesn't matter if it started with superficial feelings, because one day they might start to really like each other. She said she never dated anyone long enough to really start to like them, and contrary to what people imagine, it wasn't because she got bored and dumped them, but rather the opposite. The girl added that when she is dating, she is very faithful, and if someone else asks her to be a girlfriend, she immediately refuses. When they got off at the train station, he took the girl to her house, and when they arrived, she invited him in, as there was no one there. Being in her room, Runa went to get some drinks while he was admiring how feminine the place was. When he saw a half-open drawer, he couldn't contain himself and went to take a look. Suddenly, she came back, and he slammed his foot on the closet, where she didn't even realize what he was doing. Runa told the protagonist to sit down, but seeing him embarrassed, she thought she understood, so she asked if he wanted to take a shower before they started. Having no answers, she began to open her shirt, until the protagonist told her to wait a bit and asked what she was doing. As if it were the most normal thing in the world, she asks if they're not going to do that, which makes Ryuto ask if it's too early. For her, this is what lovers need to do when they are alone, but the protagonist said he wanted their relationship to mean something more. Runa was a little confused because she had never been through this. She never really wanted to do it, but for her, doing these things was a duty because she believes that if she doesn't let the guy do it, he might jump to another girl. Thus, the protagonist understood what she meant when she said that she was not the one who ended relationships. Because she was, in quotation marks, too easy on the first date, they possibly got tired of her and moved on to another girl, especially if they are jerks. She asked once again if they would do it, and the protagonist really wanted that, but wanting to be different from her ex-boyfriends, he said that they wouldn't do anything today. As Runa walked with him to the train station, Ryuto was a little regretful that nothing had happened, until she commented that it was the first time she had a boyfriend like him. The protagonist revealed that this is the first time he has dated a girl and said that, as he doesn't have any friends, she doesn't need to worry about him going after someone else. Furthermore, he said that when they are going to do that, he wants her to be sure that she wants to do it too, and that she doesn't think of it as a duty. So she asks if one day she wants to just let me know and comments that when that time comes, maybe their relationship will no longer be superficial. Runa also says that she thought it was cool and that she never had that feeling of excitement. So they say goodbye, and in her room, the protagonist deeply regrets not having done anything. Arriving at school, Ryudo received a message from his girlfriend, who said that he slept too much, and when he received a sticker, he didn't know how to respond. Not being sociable like her, the boy sent a message explaining how she could arrive on time, saying good luck at the end, which she excitedly thanked. As class began, the protagonist was wondering if Runa would be able to arrive on time. Suddenly, she appeared and went straight to her seat, where, when she looked at the protagonist, he was left without reaction. At lunch, he talked to his friends about what had happened, who couldn't believe he denied doing it because of feelings. So, they commented that he might not have another opportunity, as Runa probably just wanted to have fun with an introverted boy and will soon date someone more popular. This made Ryudo think, and when he arrived in the room, his girlfriend went to talk to him, but the boy didn't know how to act because of the other people looking at them and Runa's friend, who had a hateful face. So, he said he needed to do his homework and went to her table. After that, Runa started talking to him more, which made him happy, but other people's looks bothered him a lot, especially Nicola's. So, the protagonist went to talk to his girlfriend to explain the situation, where she understood that he wanted to keep their relationship a secret for now. However, the moment she asked when they could see each other, the boy ended up asking her out on a date, and she said he had plans for Sunday, but Saturday would be free. Therefore, Ryudo was very nervous, as he had never gone on a date and had no idea where to take her. Suddenly, Runa called him, asking where the meeting would be. The first thing the protagonist thought of was going to the cinema. However, he doesn't usually go to the cinema and has no idea what films are showing. Ryudo decides to be honest and tells Runa that he would like to get to know her better, so he would rather go somewhere she would like. This was the first time that her boyfriend said this, and being happy, she said that she would choose the location. The next day, the protagonist went to the mall with his girlfriend so she could go shopping, which was the first time he saw her in an outfit other than her school uniform. They went to several stores, and she seemed to be very happy, while the protagonist felt a little insecure about being with such a beautiful girl. When they stopped to drink something, Runa asked if their date wasn't boring, but the protagonist said that she seemed to be very happy, and seeing her like that, he was happy too. Ryudo realized that he was madly in love and didn't know what to do until Runa's friend called her, and he immediately thought that the girl was talking badly about him. On Sunday, Ryudo was very worried, as it was the first time that his girlfriend didn't read messages from him. So, he started to think that she was with another boy, so he decided to watch Ken's life to not think about it. The next day, Ryudo barely arrived at school and saw Runa talking to some popular kids, which his friends saw and supported, saying that life was like that. Upon arriving home, the protagonist received a message from his girlfriend, asking him to go to a park near the train station at that moment, which he thought was to end the relationship. As he arrived at the location, Ryudo thought about what he was going to say and how he regretted not accepting Runa's proposal in the previous episode. Once there, the protagonist was already convinced that they would end their relationship. However, she just wanted to show him her new case, which she had a lot of work to get, as they were only selling one per person. Furthermore, she also bought one for him, as she asked Nicora to go with her to the store, and that's what she wanted to do on Sunday. However, because she had been playing on her cell phone while she was in line, she ran out of battery, which is why she hadn't responded to him at that time. Suddenly, she noticed that Ryudo felt strange, but in reality, the boy was very happy and relieved. He was very insecure and couldn't believe that someone like her could date an introverted boy like him, so he convinced himself that she would dump him. However, seeing that she went to so much trouble to surprise him, the protagonist was extremely happy. While they were walking together, she commented that the case was a surprise for their one-week anniversary. They continued talking, and Ryudo said that he had already declared himself to a girl before. She went to elementary school, and the girl's name was Maria, and she sat next to him until one day she commented that she liked sweet boys like him. In this way, the protagonist began to think that she felt the same as him, so he decided to declare himself. However, she didn't feel the same and said it would be better to remain friends, and since then, he has not been confident with girls. Runa says she needs to thank her, because if they were dating, the protagonist wouldn't have declared himself to her. Ryudo laughs and says that middle school relationships don't last that long, but she says that her parents met in elementary school and got married after finishing high school. Runa always wanted something like that for herself, and while she was thinking about it, a car passed by them. The protagonist showed his nerdy side, and the girl discovered that he loves sports cars and knows everything about them. After he saw that he had said too much, Ryudo apologized, but she was happy to see him talking about something she liked. Thinking about it, she said that maybe it's like a sports car because she was racing to be like her parents, going faster and faster to become an adult soon. That's why she went through so many experiences. However, when going so fast, her relationships always ended as soon as they started. Runa says that her parents ended up divorcing, and although she tried to become an adult soon, she was still a child inside. Ryudo said that sports cars were not made to get to their destination quickly, but rather to make the journey more fun. In this way, the protagonist said that she is making the most of her school years and that, in this way, she is similar to sports cars. Upon hearing this, she becomes happy and decides to enjoy her life in the same way she was already doing. Runa starts running and tells them to race to the train station, where Ryudo realizes that he still can't keep up with her. During the night, she called her friend, telling her that the surprise worked, and even though Runa said that she was happier with her relationship, Nikora said that she still doesn't trust the protagonist. The next day, a new student was introduced to everyone, and to Ryudo's sadness, it was Maria, the girl who dumped him when he was younger. With Maria entering the room, the protagonist remembered when he entered the friend zone and didn't want to, but the girl remembered him and was placed to sit exactly next to Ryudo. When changing teachers, she started a conversation with the protagonist, and he realized that the girl was already a success among the boys in the class. Furthermore, thinking about his relationship, Ryudo decided that he would stay away from the girl because of what they had in the past. During the break, Nikora told the protagonist that they needed to talk and took him to another place. After eating, she asked Ryudo if he knew that Sunday was Runa's birthday and became very angry when she realized that he didn't know about it being her boyfriend. So, she told the boy to do something for her friend, but before she could leave, Ryudo asked the things that Runa liked most. Nikora told him to ask his girlfriend directly. However, the protagonist wants to surprise her, like the cell phone case he received, which convinced her to help, even though someone outside took a hidden photo of the two of them. The next day, Runa was waiting for Ryudo to have a conversation, so she showed him her cell phone, where she had a group conversation with a photo of him and Nikora together. Before explaining, the protagonist asked if she would be free next Sunday. She said yes, and he explained the situation, saying that he wanted to do something to celebrate her birthday. Runa was relieved and happy, so after she left, Ryudo wondered if the girl was jealous, but thinking that she wouldn't feel that way about him, the boy ruled out that option. With her birthday approaching, the protagonist took his girlfriend to her favorite place, where they had bubble tea, a drink that the girl loves. She wanted to pay part of it. However, the protagonist didn't let her, saying it would be on her to celebrate her birthday. Runa noticed that the protagonist had a map, and when asking what that was, the nerd started talking nonstop because, to make the perfect meeting. He spent the whole week trying different teas from different places so that she could try the best. When he saw that he had done it again, he stopped talking, and Runa asked if the boy liked this type of tea so much. Ryudo replied that, upon discovering that she liked it, he started studying to prepare and wanted to take her wherever she liked. Upon discovering that he had done all this for her, Runa was very happy, as this was the first time that someone had done something like this for her. In this way, they continued trying several different teas and noted which ones were the best. The moment came when the protagonist was fed up, so he bought it just for Runa, which she liked and wanted him to try too, an indirect kiss, and she made fun of him with it and left him very embarrassed. After a happy walk that the protagonist was loving, Ryudo intended to tell her about Maria, but when he went to do that, she also wanted to say something. Suddenly, they saw a boy giving a gift to his girlfriend, and that's when the protagonist realized that he no longer had any money. So he offered her to buy something with what was left. However, the girl took the map and said she wanted it as a birthday present. This made the protagonist love her even more, and Runa was very happy with the day she had. The next day, the protagonist heard some bad rumors about his girlfriend, that she used her boyfriends, then jumped to another, in addition to staying with boys just because of their money. Ryudo was finding this very strange, as usually rumors about Runa weren't like that. While having lunch with his friends, Nikoru appeared to talk to him, which made the two weirdos run away in fear. She commented on the meeting Ryudo had with Runa, but was there to talk about the rumors that were being spread around the school. The next day, the protagonist had to join his class with Maria's, as she had forgotten his book. With the teacher leaving to get something, she commented on the day she dumped him and apologized for it. She started to get close to him and hit on the boy, but he just thanked her and said he had a girlfriend. Maria asked who it was, and the protagonist almost revealed herself to be Runa, but thinking about people talking bad about her for being with someone like him, Ryudo didn't tell her who it was. At break, he was thinking about it, about people making fun of his girlfriend because of him, until he saw Runa walking into a room with a boy. Ryudo went to see what was going on. The boy asked her to be his girlfriend, but Runa denied, saying that she has a boyfriend. Still insisting, he wanted to know who her boyfriend was, and when the girl didn't want to tell him, he suspected that she was ashamed. However, Runa said that it wasn't that, but that her boyfriend is shy. He started to suspect that he was one of the strange boys at school. That's why she was ashamed, but she said that she doesn't count because she respects her boyfriend's decision, and if he let her, she would tell the whole world that she is with him without having a shred of shame. This made the protagonist happy, and at the end of the class, Ryudo was embarrassed because he thought that Runa was ashamed of him. Suddenly, Maria started talking to him about Runa and the rumors that were spreading around the school. A friend of hers used to date Runa and said it was very tiring, as she always took advantage of boys and their money. As she spoke, Ryudo started to get very angry and remembered her birthday, when the girl didn't do anything that Maria was talking about. Unable to hear her speak badly about his girlfriend any longer, Ryudo told the girl to stop saying such things and said that this ex-boyfriend was lying. Ryudo also commented that Runa was a great girlfriend, and when she asked how he knew that, the protagonist stood up and told everyone that he was Runa's boyfriend. The students who heard that couldn't believe the boy until Runa confirmed that it was true, which made people see that the rumors about her were a lie. Maria ran out of the room, and the protagonist followed her. He asked the girl if she was the one who spread the rumors about Runa. She confirmed it and said that she did it to become number one, as she doesn't want Runa to take any more things from her. Maria revealed that Runa is her twin sister, and they are not alike as they are fraternal twins. They also do not have the same surname, as their parents divorced and she took the surname of their mother, who had remarried, but having divorced once again. Maria had to move with her mother to his grandfather's house. She hates being Runa's sister because the girl always knew how to get more attention, so everyone in the family spoiled her. Maria believes that this was the reason she had to move in with her mother and change her name. Even after all her efforts to be popular, Runa was still number one, and that's why she created those rumors. Ryudo says he can understand her, as he has always been more reclusive and has difficulty showing her feelings. The protagonist tried to make the girl feel better, saying that she would find someone she would really like and wouldn't need to pretend to be someone else. She ended up slipping, and Ryudo helped her, but after the girl asked to be alone, he left. Arriving in the classroom, Ryudo ran into Runa and then Nikoru, who said he did well. Leaving school, the protagonist talked to his girlfriend, and she asked why he had revealed everything like that, and she explained that she hates seeing people tell lies about her. This made Runa's eyes fill with tears, as she was sad about the rumors and happy that the protagonist didn't believe them. She commented about her sister and said she wanted to know who had spread the rumors, but Ryudo stopped saying that it was Maria after Runa commented that she was a good girl. They talked a little more and decided that they wouldn't comment on the past anymore, and when we saw Maria, we discovered that she started to like the protagonist. The next day, he was super nervous about going to school after announcing his relationship with Runa, but when he got there, everything was normal. After class, they went to eat something together, and she commented that she wanted to like something that her boyfriend also liked. This way, he comments on Kin's life and starts talking non-stop about it, which leaves her in shock. After that, she says that she also wants to see it, and the two watch it together on Ryudo's cell phone. Ryudo was very happy and started to wonder if they could kiss yet. Not knowing how to do this, Ryudo has the brilliant idea of asking his friends, who were unable to help, as they are both weirder than the protagonist. Talking to them about it, Ryudo decides to do something easier and hold her hands, so he invited the girl out on the weekend and created a super elaborate plan. which consists of her tripping over something and him holding her hand to help. Because he was thinking about it a lot, Ryudo wasn't paying attention in class, and with the teacher asking him to answer a question, the protagonist didn't know what to do. However, Maria helped him. She asked him not to start hating her, but Ryudo told her to stay calm, as he doesn't hate her. On the day of the meeting, the protagonist was eager to put his plan into practice, but before that, Runa wanted him to eat the food she prepared. Even though it was messy, the food was very good, and the protagonist really liked it. After that, they went boating, but when Runa tripped, the protagonist was unable to carry out his plan as she balanced herself. So, they walked together, and the protagonist couldn't hide his frustrated face. Leaving there, Runa noticed that her boyfriend was strange and wanted to know what he had, thinking that the boy wanted to break up with her. Ryudo was scared to see that she was thinking about it and confirmed that he absolutely didn't want to break up with her. So he said he was thinking about them going boating once again, but this time on a different one. Taking the initiative, the protagonist managed to take Runa's hand, and while he was rowing, she commented that she was very happy because she was finally able to take his hand. Basically, they both wanted the same thing, and after Ryudo confirmed this, she got up and kissed him. When they got off the boat, they continued to hold hands, and she asked him to call her by her first name, which the protagonist still can't do. However, they continue talking, and he realizes that he never wants to let go of Runa's hand again. The scene cuts to Maria, who knows that she likes Ryudo, but she doesn't know what to do with those feelings. Thus, she made her decision and intends to steal the protagonist from Runa, whatever the cost. In a cafeteria, the protagonist was teaching English to his girlfriend, as she was having a lot of difficulty in this subject. While studying, they started talking like a couple in love and showed that they loved each other more than ever. Leaving there, Runa commented that they had completed 1 month of dating, and to celebrate this she invited him to go to the beach together. When imagining her in a bikini, the protagonist accepted, and a while later, she showed how she progressed in her studies and ended up getting a better grade on the English test. She was impressed to see how well he did, and Maria watched the entire conversation. A while later, when the protagonist was leaving the bathroom, she appeared to talk to him and asked the boy for help with the English subject. Ryudo was uncomfortable, not knowing exactly how to deny the girl, and after she asked for his cell phone number, the protagonist said he wouldn't send her messages, but she wanted to anyway. While waiting for the train to go to the beach, Ryudo received a message from Maria, asking for his help with his studies. However, he replied that he wouldn't be able to, but she insisted, asking which day they could study. Before she could respond, Runa arrived and the protagonist put away her cell phone. When they arrived at the beach, Ryudo couldn't hide his embarrassment at seeing his girlfriend wearing a bikini, and so the meeting on the beach began. Runa asked him to put sunscreen on her back, which he accepted with great pleasure, even more so when the girl asked him to put it under her bikini. After that, they got into the water and had a lot of fun together, until they stopped to rest. While they were doing this, Ryudo complimented her and said that she looked beautiful in her bikini, to which she commented that she took a long time to choose it and tried on several different ones. Because of heavy rain, they were unable to return home, so they needed to stay in a hotel, but as it would be very expensive to stay in separate rooms, the two decided to sleep together. She went to the shower first, and meanwhile, the protagonist was distressed, wondering what it meant for them to share a room. The moment she returned, the girl saw the protagonist doing sit-ups as he is trying not to think about any nonsense. Runa wanted to touch the protagonist's belly, however, because he was embarrassed, he didn't let her and ran to the bath. While washing, the protagonist thought about what he did and what Runa thought after he didn't let her touch him. During the night, they couldn't sleep because of the wind outside, so Runa invited Ryudo to do that thing I can't talk about so as not to lose monetization. However, the protagonist asked if she really wanted to do that. However, the girl said no, but she didn't want him to hold back. So, he didn't accept it, even though she told him that she liked him a lot and that she had never felt that way about anyone else. Runa commented that she would be very happy if he waited until she really wanted to do it, because that way, she would be happier than ever. Hearing this, he told them to go to sleep and said that he will wait until the time comes. Because of this, Runa asked why he was so nice to her, which the protagonist replied because he liked her. With that, the girl made one more request, that Ryudo hug her. This way, the couple hugged each other for the first time and lay down holding hands. While this was happening, Maria was alone in her room reading the messages she sent to the protagonist, wondering why she couldn't be like her sister. When they returned, the protagonist left his girlfriend at home and was very sleepy, as he could barely sleep during the night. Suddenly, he saw Nicora, who invited him to come in and have something to eat, while asking how things were going in his relationship. She commented that Runa is clingier than she looks and asked if he thought it was bad for her to give him so much attention. Nicora said that her ex-boyfriends were jerks who called her boring and clingy. Additionally, she commented that Runa has something called the 2-month barrier. Several of the boyfriends the girl had cheated on her before they were 2 months old or went cold and broke up out of the blue. Even though Runa trusts Ryudo, she must still be insecure about it. However, he promised the girl that he won't do anything bad to her friend, which made her relieved. While returning home, the protagonist received an audio from Maria, but when he went to listen, it was Runa who was speaking. She said she went to visit her mother and had no battery, so she borrowed her sister's cell phone. Runa said that she wanted to meet him at school at that moment, which the protagonist would deny because he was tired, but remembering what Nicora said, he accepted. So, even though it was night, Ryudo went to school, and when he arrived, his girlfriend said that she wanted to do that with him at that moment. Ryudo found this strange, because the day before Runa had said that she wanted to wait, and when we looked closer, we realized that in reality, that is Maria in disguise. Because at that exact moment Runa was on the phone talking to her friend about how happy she was with her relationship. After Maria hugged him, the protagonist realized that she was not his girlfriend, so she confirmed the truth and used the fact that their voices were similar to call him. She insisted that she wanted to do this to him, said that she could pretend to be Runa, and said that she wouldn't tell anyone, including her sister. Maria tried to argue that she could give him his first chance, unlike Runa, but the protagonist still rejected her. Suddenly, they heard someone approaching. It was a guard, who, upon entering the room, did not see anyone as the two fled through the window. Ryudo asked if she had lured him there to get revenge on Runa, but the girl denied it and said that she did it because she liked him. She revealed that she started liking him since he lectured her for spreading the rumors. Furthermore, it was the first boy she liked who rejected her, so, crying, she apologizes to the protagonist because it hurt too much and she did the same to him in the past. Thus, with her crying, the protagonist let Maria lie on his shoulder, which someone ended up seeing. The next day at school, people were commenting on the protagonist, and when he arrived in class, his friends asked if he really cheated on Runa with Maria and showed a photo of the two of them together. With the girl arriving, Ryudo took her to another room and asked if she was the one who did that. However, the girl denied it and said that she would not spread rumors after being rejected like that. Not wanting him to hate her, Maria said that she would deny all the rumors and no longer contact him. As they were about to leave the room, she said that maybe she would be the person next to him if she had agreed to date him in the past. However, Runa was in front of the door, and upon hearing that, she dropped her cell phone on the floor. She ended up hearing all that, and as the protagonist apologized upon seeing her, Runa imagined that he had done something wrong, so, while she was crying, she ran out of there. The protagonist tried to take the cell phone to return it to his girlfriend, but before he could, Nicora took the cell phone and hit him, calling him an asshole. Being the last day of school before summer vacation, he was at the farewell ceremony where he didn't see Runa, and meanwhile, in the classroom, Maria was blocking the protagonist. In this way, the protagonist started his summer vacation in a very sad way, and even though he sent messages to Runa, none of them were answered. He was on an intensive course and remembered when he went to her house, but he couldn't ring the doorbell because he was a coward. The scene cuts to his friends on the beach, who were starting to look like ordinary teenagers. However, that went down the drain when they preferred to stay under the umbrella watching a video on their cell phone. Tired of this, they wanted to go to a restaurant, but ended up seeing something else. During his class, the protagonist received a message from them, saying that Runa was cheating on him, followed by a photo of her with a man. Upon seeing this, Ryudo ran out of there and took the train to get to the coast. He ran, thinking he was being an idiot for not going to talk to her until now, so when he found the restaurant, he saw Runa taking photos with her friend. Upon seeing the man she was apparently seeing, the protagonist became angry and ended up almost entering. He works there, and soon things were explained. This man is called Mao and is Runa's uncle. Understanding that the boy was his niece's boyfriend, he took him inside to get a drink. Once inside the establishment, Nikoro put pressure on Ryudo, but as she needed to go to work, she had to leave. Alone with his girlfriend, the protagonist explained the whole story and apologized for not having acted right towards her. However, Runa also apologized and thanked him for not leaving Maria crying alone. This way, the situation was resolved, and they went to Runa's grandmother's house, where he tried to say that he needed to go back, but Mao convinced him to stay for dinner. As they entered the house, she asked if he would stay with her for the rest of the summer, and after he said yes, the girls said that they would stay there until she returned home. That way, he couldn't say no, and would spend the rest of his vacation on the beach, next to his girlfriend. Being with Runa during his vacation, Ryudo is very happy, even more so when he is woken up by her every morning. At first, because she was having difficulty at work, Runa had to help her boyfriend serve customers. The days were happy, and the protagonist's mother sent the boy some things so he can spend the summer there. On another day at work, during his break, Ryudo started studying, until two boys appeared. They were hitting on Runa and asking which one she preferred. Not knowing what to do since Mao wasn't there at the time, the protagonist decided to act, so he went to where they were and asked if the boys needed anything. This made them leave, but before leaving, they asked once again which one she preferred, putting the protagonist in the middle, and of course Runa chose him, saying that Ryudo is her boyfriend. This situation made her very angry because some idiots like that always appear and try to flirt with her, but at the same time she was happy because the protagonist went to help her. She commented that he was studying during his break, and the protagonist said that in addition to clothes, his mother sent her materials for him to study. They started talking about college and the future. She talked about what her friends wanted to do. Like Nikoro, who wants to go to a manicure school after finishing high school. She also works to save money for her monthly fees, which the protagonist had no idea about. Runa was a bit crestfallen, as many people she knows know what they want to do in the future, except her. As this conversation continues, she reveals that she has already accomplished her goal, developing mutual feelings with someone she thinks will stay forever. Her dream was always to return to live with her parents and Maria, but if that was too difficult, she wanted to build her own family. Upon hearing this, the protagonist realized that Runa had already thought much more about the future than him. After getting out of the shower, Ryudo ended up listening to his girlfriend talking to his grandmother. Apparently, she wanted to cook meat and potatoes, but they ran out of potatoes, so the couple went to the market, and when they returned, they cooked together, looking like a real couple. The scene cuts, and we see Maria and her mother talking about the girl's grandmother, who had just called and commented that Runa was there with her boyfriend. She asked if Maria was going to the beach this summer and was very shaken to know that the boy she likes is there with his sister. Maria said she will have things to do, so she won't be able to. The grandmother told Runa about this, which made her upset and think that her sister was avoiding her. She commented on how distant she was from her sister and said she didn't even recognize her when she arrived at school. Ryudo is the only one in the school who knows that Runa and Maria are sisters, and despite their different personalities, Runa likes her a lot. Therefore, she wanted to get along with Maria and asked the protagonist for help to do so. In this way, Runa's focus is to get closer to Maria at school and become friends. With Mao returning, he brought her cell phone, which was repaired, so she could respond to all the messages she had received. Furthermore, to the protagonist's sadness, she saw some videos of her friends and made the poor guy do a little TikTok dance along with her. The next day, Mao paid the protagonist for the 2 weeks of work, as it helped him do other things since he is a writer. Being the first time that the protagonist received money for working, he went to buy a gift for the 2 months of dating Runa until he found something perfect. Returning home, he saw his girlfriend wearing a kimono and was stunned by her beauty. So, the two went to the festival they were having and had a lot of fun together, which made Ryudo very happy. While they waited in line, Runa went to a store and looked for a moonstone ring, which was already out of stock and would only be available next year. After eating and having fun, they started walking together, and Ryudo commented that it was the first time he had done all these things. Suddenly, Runa started talking about her parents and that she had always dreamed of marrying her first boyfriend, so she asked why this couldn't be her first time. Seeing that this was all new for Ryudo, Runa was very sad that it wasn't the first time for her. She thinks that it would be much better if all these things were new to both of them, so she wanted to erase what she had experienced in the past from her memory. as she wanted to have first-hand experiences to share with him. Ryudo told Runa that she shared a lot with him, and even though she has already done it with someone else, if she feels something new and different when she does it with him, it will make him very happy. Thus, the protagonist gives an example of all the times she shared her feelings with him, and taking a small box gives him the gift he bought for her 2 months ago. To the girl's surprise, it was the ring she wanted so much, which made her very happy and made her comment that meeting him was the best gift she had ever received. In this way, the two agree that from that day on they will do many new things together, and with the fireworks appearing, the two say how much they like each other and end up kissing. With the return of classes, Runa tried to start her plan to be Maria's friend, but when trying to talk to her, the girl walked away, which the protagonist noticed. Trying not to think about it and seeing that his friends had spent the summer alone, Ryudo had an idea, so he invited them to do something on Saturday. With the weekend approaching, they went to play airsoft together with Runa and her friends. Suddenly, one of them remembered Nishina, as they were in the same class last year, and the simple fact that she said his name made the introverted boy weaken. So they started playing, where the two weirdos were in Nakora's trio, and the couple was with Runa's other friend. Jealous of seeing how happy the protagonist was dating, his friends wanted to hit him. However, they ended up not being able to, and both were eliminated. To save Runa, Ryudo got in front of her, and as the other girl was also eliminated, only her friends were left alive. After managing to dodge everything, Runa ended up winning. After the end of this round, the couple talked lovingly, while Nakora cut his nails to shoot better and chose a much larger weapon. So, in the second game, she started shooting and eliminating everyone she saw in front of her. After they finished playing, Runa started to get worried, as her favorite earring was missing, which made Ryudo look all over the room. However, it was in the girl's bag. They all went to a diner together, and despite being very different, they were getting along well. They were impressed to discover that girls like anime, even if the styles are different from what they like. Talking about other things, we discover that Nakoru is still in love with her ex-boyfriend, which seems a little strange. As she said, he used to listen to Buddhist sutras on his cell phone almost all the time. After that, everyone had to leave, leaving only the couple, who decided to walk around a little more. Runa took Ryudo to a Ferris wheel, where they talked about their feelings and kissed, showing that they were more in love than ever. Even more so when Runa asked her boyfriend to stroke her head, which made her say that she loved him. Leaving there, she commented on how happy she was, as they were doing totally new things together. Furthermore, they were almost 3 months into their relationship, but this time, Runa said she didn't want any gifts and said that as long as Ryudo is with her, the girl won't need anything else. This way, Runa feels that for the first time she is truly in love, and Ryudo is not left behind, as he also loves her. At school, Runa invited the protagonist to go out with her on Saturday. However, he has crammed school that day, so he can't go. So, he was focused on studying hard and doing well on the tests until he heard a familiar voice, and when he looked back, he discovered that Maria was in the same prep class as him. So he hid, crawling under the tables, and when he was about to leave the room, a boy stopped him and said he hadn't seen him in a while. They went to a cafeteria, where we discovered that the boy's name is Sakiya, and he calls himself Ronin because he didn't pass the entrance exams. When talking about the situation, the protagonist ended up telling the whole story about Maria and Runa. Ryudo decided that he would hide from Maria for now, as he didn't want to make his girlfriend worry. Thus, understanding him, Sakiya decided that he would help him, and as he is on campus every day, he will notify Ryudo if he sees the girl and tell him where she is. In the classroom, the teacher appeared with some students to talk about the sports festival that will take place. And as they also need to start planning the cultural festival that will be held the following month, they need volunteers to help. However, no one wanted to participate until Maria applied, and because of that, Runa did the same, and the friendship project finally began. With Runa wanting to participate, her friend also wanted to, but when she saw that Nakora couldn't because of her work, she looked directly at the protagonist. He ended up accepting and needing one more person. Ryudo recommended his friend, as he saw that he had his eye on Akari. Being on the pamphlet committee, the three separated from the others, and the protagonist realized how embarrassing that situation was. They needed to choose the flyer for the cultural festival, so Runa asked Maria about what she liked. The girl commented that she watches some videos. However, they are not the ones that Runa was imagining, but rather live games like Ryudo, which made the two talk about it and left Runa without understanding anything. Thinking about how to get the two to get closer, his friend from college showed up, and they both went out for dinner. The boy was popular with girls in his school days and showed what he was like before entering high school. At that time, he only had one girl who thought he was handsome. However, they dated for a short time, until he grew his hair on her recommendation and became popular. The next day, with the second meeting to prepare the pamphlets, the two brought ideas, but they disagreed, as Runa wanted something brighter and Maria something more serious and neutral. Unable to resolve it, they asked Ryudo's opinion about who liked Maria's idea more, but as Runa is his girlfriend, he said he still didn't know which idea was better. Later, he went to the teacher to tell her that the two couldn't decide. However, she explained that they needed to do this soon and would only have until the end of the sports festival to give the answer. When he returned home by train, he didn't know what to do about this issue, and when he got off the train, he came face to face with Maria. They talked for a while, and the girl confessed that she had transferred to that school to make Runa happy. However, she was still very resentful. That's why she did those things, even more so, because she believed that Runa would like the surprise and would introduce her to everyone as her sister. She said that everything she did was bad, but now she is being who she really is and is returning to her normal self. This made the protagonist happy, even more so when he realized that Maria cared about Runa. While leaving the train station, Ryudo ended up tripping, and she saw the booklet for the course he was in. Maria said that she already knew that they were taking the course together, so she left, thinking that the protagonist was being an idiot, as she wouldn't bother him during his studies. The sports festival started, and Runa was doing very well in the race, even more so with the support of her boyfriend, who gave her more strength and helped her win. In another running test, Runa came to a piece of paper and asked the protagonist to run with her, where they both ended up winning. She explained that the paper she had picked up was written to run with the person she liked, so she ended up calling him. Inside the school, Akari and Maria were getting ready, as they were going to be cheerleaders. They were getting along well, and the girl commented that she was happy that her mother would come to see her. However, as they left, she saw Runa and her mother talking, so she ran back to school. Their mother realized that Maria wasn't there, so Ryudo and Runa went looking for her, and of course it was the protagonist who found her. All she wanted was to have her mother's fans all to herself because she believes she has been wronged enough, and at least this time she wanted better treatment than Runa. She also ran away because her mother didn't know they weren't talking, and Maria doesn't want her to find out about the bad things she did to Runa. The protagonist tried to help her, but she told him to leave, as she still likes him and doesn't want the boy to make her like him even more. Furthermore, Runa ended up overhearing the conversation and left without saying anything. On the day of choosing the pamphlets, once again they couldn't decide, leaving Ryudo with the final vote. He didn't know what to do, and when he was trying to side with Runa, even though it wasn't her real opinion, the girl told him to tell the truth. Therefore, he said that he preferred the less flashy pamphlet, leaving a very bad atmosphere in the room. When they left school, Runa was very upset with the protagonist because of the lie in the pamphlets and what she ended up hearing on the day of the sports festival. She said that she has been thinking a lot lately and said that maybe Maria suits him better than she does. Runa didn't just say this because of the choice of pamphlets, but also because of their similar tastes and the fact that he had more things in common with Maria than with her. She commented that she saw the two on the roof and found it curious that she was feeling bad, even though she was the one who asked the protagonist to be Maria's friend. So, she asked if they could continue dating like this, and when she said that she wouldn't send messages for a while, Runa ran away. Ryudo couldn't reach her, but even if he had, he has no idea what to say to his girlfriend, and as sad as it may seem, they were celebrating 4 months together that day. In her room, Maria commented that the protagonist should have just stayed next to Runa, and when looking at a stuffed cat, she remembered the past. Runa put a blue bell around the toy's neck and was very happy playing with it. However, that plush belonged to Maria, so she told her sister to return it, even though she no longer played with it. Thinking about this, Maria commented that Runa was always like that, kind, nice, and attentive. That's why Maria was happy for her and wants the girl to be happy with Ryudo, even if it makes her feel strange. Even with the work on the pamphlet complete, Runa still wasn't responding to the protagonist until, while she was walking, he heard her talking to someone on her cell phone. And before she could say anything, the girl ran away. While he and Nikora were cleaning the classroom, the girl commented to the protagonist that she thought he would make Runa happy and also said that love is not just a fun thing. Upon leaving school, Ryudo was stopped by Akari, who said that she really needed to talk to him. Going to the usual cafeteria, she said that Runa could have a sugar daddy, which the protagonist couldn't believe. She said she saw Runa with an expensive bag and an older boy with her. They found this situation strange, but since their relationship was in trouble, Akari thought that Runa might have done something without thinking too much. However, Ryudo told her not to worry, as he trusted Runa and said that even if something happened, it would be his fault. Leaving there, the protagonist called Sakiya and asked the boy for a favor. At the cultural festival, the boy went with Ryudo to try to help him find Sugar Daddy. However, they came face to face with Akari, and the girl pointed at Sakiya, saying that he was the older boy who was with Runa. Not understanding what was happening, the protagonist thought that the boy was one of Runa's ex-boyfriends, which made him hostile towards his friend. However, Sakiya explained that he never dated Runa but rather a friend of hers, which made the protagonist immediately understand that he was the boyfriend that Nikora still liked. He said he was going to the course, however, someone called him. It was Runa, who gave him her number and said to call at any time. Sakiya still likes her, and even though the protagonist says that Nikora still thinks about the boy, he doesn't want to meet her. As he had ended their relationship so he could go out with other girls, so he doesn't think it's right to want to go back to her like that. After hearing this, Ryudo gave the boy a super moral lesson and made him think better about the situation. Suddenly, the protagonist's friends appeared and said that some boys were bothering Runa and Nikora. While they didn't let them leave, Ryudo appeared and pulled his girlfriend away from there. And when the two idiots thought they would stay with Nikoru, Sakiya appeared, scaring them and taking her away. She asked why he was there, and he just apologized for the delay and hugged her. This whole romantic moment made Yusuke want to confess his love to Akari. However, life is not that easy, and the moment he asked the girl to be his girlfriend, she got angry and lectured the boy, which she is right about since they barely know each other. Runa apologized and commented on something Akari says when she is sad, which might have been different if they had become friends first. After this sad moment, the boy commented on how incredible the protagonist was, as he had told the person that he liked him, and now she liked him too. So when he thought about it, he ran to find Runa, and when he found her, they talked about Sakiya and Nikoru and also about the whole sugar daddy thing. Runa commented that she was happy for her friend, who was now with the person she loves, and said that life is too short to waste it not being with the person she loves. Upon hearing this, Ryudo said that perhaps life seems short, but it is actually very long, as next year will come and all the others after, and he intends to spend all this time with her. 2 weeks after the cultural festival, Runa went to see Ryudo before the boys' cram school class, where they were talking. However, it wasn't as natural as it used to be. She commented on Nikoru, who was extremely happy with her relationship with Sakiya. Furthermore, she said that her friend intends to go all out tonight, that is, to take the relationship to another level, if you know what I mean. Runa was very excited to see her friend so happy, so she asked the protagonist about her friend who had been rejected. After that day, the boy didn't go back to school and was trying to diffuse the shock of being rejected by playing games, while his other friend was also feeling bad. While walking together, the protagonist suggested that they do something new, but she said that it would be better for them to wait for his simulations to finish. When they said goodbye, the two didn't seem to be dating, and Runa felt that something was very strange. The next day, in the classroom, Nikoru appeared with her eyes swollen from crying because the day before, Sakiya broke up with her, saying that she needed to focus on the entrance exams and also that she could forget about him. In the course, the protagonist asked the boy why he said those things, who said that their relationship couldn't continue because he knew that Nikora wanted to do those things. And after they did them the first time, they would keep doing them all the time. And he would only realize it after the entrance exams were over. Ryudo asked if it wouldn't be better to just ask her to wait for the exams. However, Sakiya explained that time in high school is precious, so he doesn't think it's fair to lock her into such a vague relationship. Furthermore, he added that she has good friends, and after the necessary time, she will soon forget him. This made the protagonist think about his relationship and comment that the atmosphere is very strange. He is afraid of hurting Runa again, and meanwhile, the girl is talking to Nikoru and comments that the protagonist is distant. Runa is scared of what Ryudo is thinking and thinks they won't be able to continue. Back to him, the protagonist commented that she cannot undo the dating proposal she made to Maria in the past, so in order not to make her girlfriend insecure, she is careful not to talk to her sister. Upon hearing this, Sakiya mocked Ryudo and said that if he continues like this, the boy won't have any friends except his girlfriend. However, the protagonist doesn't care about this. He just wants to be with his great love. In fact, speaking of her, the girl went crying to meet her friend, who was also sad, so they both tried to help each other. On the way home, Ryudo ended up seeing Maria, and they both walked together until it was time for each of them to go home. However, before she left, the protagonist said that it was better for them not to be alone anymore. She agreed, but said she doesn't think her feelings for him will go away that easily. However, on the day of the sports festival, she couldn't stop thinking about Runa. Since she was little, Runa gave up everything Maria insisted she wanted, even if it was something precious to her. That's why she's worried that Runa will give up on him because of her, which Maria doesn't want to happen, as she wants to see her sister happy. She was leaving. However, the protagonist said one last thing, that even though he didn't have many experiences, he had already fallen in love, and the first person he felt love for was her. So she thanked him and left happy, for this was more than she could have asked for. Suddenly, the protagonist called his girlfriend to hear her voice, and when the girl was about to say something, he heard Maria scream. He ran to help her and ended up making the suspected man run away, so they went to the police station. Maria seemed to be fine, but an earring that was precious to her was missing, and as the protagonist couldn't do anything else, he was dismissed, while Maria stayed there to give her statement. Thus, Ryudo once again called his girlfriend, whom he called her mother. The protagonist tried to explain why he was close to Maria when that happened. However, Runa didn't let him speak and said that next Saturday, before the course, she had something to say to him. With the day approaching, he tried once again to talk about that night, but Runa said that she didn't need that anymore because she wanted to break up with him. She said it wasn't because of what happened that night, but rather something she had been meaning to say for some time. Even though the relationship ended, Runa was not happy, and while they were going through this horrible moment, they looked at the couples that were passing by while remembering the happy moments they spent together. When they looked at a boy playing with a toy car, Ryudo started crying a lot, as he didn't want to finish. As he cried, he revealed that he was close to Maria that night only because he told the girl that he no longer wanted to talk to her alone. Also crying, Runa apologized to him and was just insecure about everything that was happening. That way, they got it together and decided that they would stay together, and shortly after that, the protagonist was hit by the toy of the boy he was playing with. They spent so much time together that the protagonist didn't go to college, and Runa realized that she was just trying to stop her feelings for him. However, from that day on, she decided that she would no longer do that and said that she would go all out. Continuing the conversation, Ryudo said that he couldn't continue helping Runa with the friendship project. And she explained that all this time she just wanted to go back to being Maria's sister and thought that the girl didn't like her. Ryudo disagrees and says that Maria likes Runa, but she continued with her speech, showed him that earring, and explained that she only had one because she had given the other to Maria. However, the girl had already lost it a long time ago. Upon hearing this, the protagonist remembered that night and took Runa to the place where Maria was attacked. They found the earring, and Runa realized that she was wrong. In the classroom, Maria won a prize for an English essay she had written, so standing up, Runa told everyone that she was proud of her sister and explained the situation to them. After that, Maria took her to another place and asked what Runa was doing. She gave Maria her earring and hugged her. The two got along, and everything seemed to be fine, with the two returning to being sisters who love each other. Being close to Christmas, the couple was happier than ever, and Runa comments that she has a dream she wants to make on Christmas Eve, while the protagonist also has a dream to do that with her. However, unlike him, she wants help completing the curls and braids operation. Ryudo didn't understand what she meant, but the girl explained her plan, which basically consists of getting her parents back together and her family back together. She believes that her father still loves her mother, and since she is divorced, she is free. Her operation got its name because of a story where two very similar girls met and discovered they were twins, so they brought their parents together to have a complete family. Maria already agreed to help her with this plan on Christmas Eve, and Runa also wants Ryudo's help, as she will convince her father to show up saying that she wants to introduce her boyfriend to him. In class the next day, while Runa was writing a Christmas letter, something surprising happened. Yusuke returned to school and was thin and handsome, which made Akari fall in love immediately. However, she was embarrassed to ask the boy to be her girlfriend, as she had rejected him in the past and thinks it's wrong to chase him now. Without much patience for this conversation, Nikora left and went to the roof, where he was about to block Sakiya, but Rin appeared and asked the girl to be his girlfriend. However, she rejected him right away, saying that she already had a boyfriend, which the protagonist saw and felt sad for his friend. While studying for the entrance exam, Ryudo realized something, that he was going to meet his father-in-law, and as he is very introverted, he is not at all prepared for that. So, on Christmas Eve, the boy was super nervous, until Runa appeared and they both went to a place, where they found Maria and their mother. When they said that their father would appear, the woman was a little nervous, but accepted for the sake of her daughters. However, the worst happened. Their father appeared, however, he was not alone but with a woman he intends to marry. Upon hearing this, Runa broke down and didn't stop crying for a second, not accepting her father's new relationship in the slightest. Thus, the protagonist went with her to the girl's house, where she insisted that he sleep there. She even suggested that they do that, but because of the situation they were in, Ryudo didn't accept it and realized that the girl had a high fever. Therefore, he took her to her room and took care of the girl. However, also being tired, he slept holding his girlfriend's hand. The scene cuts and we see Rin, who was ready to declare himself once again to Nikora. So, he waited until she got off work, and when he was about to go talk to her, the girl started running. She went to the cram school and knocked on doors until she found Sakiya, so when she saw him, she said she would wait until his exams were over. Upon returning home, the boy ran after her and giving his scarf to the girl, they apparently started dating again. What Rin ended up seeing and was happy for his loved one, even if he remained alone, until Yusuke called him and the boy ran out to watch the live broadcast. On Christmas morning, Runa gave the protagonist several good luck talismans. Dressing up as Santa Claus, Ryudo handed her his gift, a pair of earrings that match her ring. Furthermore, she was happy to see him dressed like this, as her father did this in the past. In this way, she comments that now the person who does this and brings her happiness is him. Furthermore, being calmer, she said that she can accept her father's happiness too. Later, while talking to Nikoru about everything that happened, she commented that Ryudo didn't try to do anything to her. So, she confesses that now she wants to do that with him, and Nikora comments that this time Runa will do it with the one she really loves. The scene cuts and we see that Runa took Ryudo to a special place, where she dressed up in cosplay for them to take photos. She had a very naughty face, and when the protagonist asked what it was, the girl confessed that she wanted to make him excited, because she wanted to do that with him.